and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh. Give us seed that we may live and not die.
So it says, give us seed that we may live and not die. If you know your homework, I could get it on here, but I'm just afraid that the connection going to go out. That Obama signed a deal that they took over all seeds.
What's Modesto?
Yes. They took over all, they got a patent on the seeds that if you have your own garden or your own farm, it's against the law. So you're going to have to go to your government to get everything.
If you pay attention, that's why when you go to the grocery store to buy fruit and vegetables, everything is seedless now.
Right, everything is seedless.
Like it went from a section of having regular grapes and seedless grapes to now it just says grapes, and all the grapes are seedless grapes. Like, that's crazy.
Right, so if they don't got no seed, this means this is artificial. They have took the Most High's creation and tampered with it. So it's not pure anymore. So it's fake food that you're eating.
And also, you know how you could take the seed from a fruit or a vegetable and plant it and grow it yourself. But now the fact that they don't have no seeds is just the fruit part of it. You can't take the seed, and in order to get seed, you have to buy it from them. And once you buy it, it's been, like he's saying, it's been altered to the point where it's only going to grow 1 year. And what it's going to produce is not going to produce another seed.
So this is, give us seed. Go ahead.
Give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph brought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field.
His field, that's that orchard back there, right there. He just said that this businessman got $30 million to get these farms started. Go ahead.
Because the famine prevailed over them, so the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt even to the other, and even to the other end thereof.
Okay, that's good. We're going to go somewhere else right quick. We'll go to Hitler's book. And this is Hitler's book, Mein Kampf. And it's in Munich. I think this is chapter 4, Munich. We're going to show you what they're really moving you for. What they're really trying to make the people relocate for. This is the real of it. Start at the top, right there.
The size of the area inhabited by a people constitutes in itself an essential factor for determining its outward security.
Outward what?
Its outward security.
So right there he says the size of an area inhabited by a people constitutes in itself an essential factor for determining its outward security. Go ahead.
The greater the quantity of space at the disposal of a people, the greater the natural protection.
The greater the natural what?
The greater the natural protection.
The greater the natural protection. So when you're spread out, you got more protection. Go ahead.
For military decisions against peoples living in a small restricted area have always been obtained more quickly.
Oh my goodness, you see that? This is what they're really trying to move you for. This is why they're really trying to move Detroiters from one end of the border to the other. We know what Hitler is famous for. The Holocaust. What he did to the fake Jews. But this is what they're really trying to move you for. To put you in a concentrated area. Read it again, Ak.
The greater... For military decisions against peoples living in a small restricted area have always been obtained more quickly and hence more easily, and in particular more effectively and completely than can conversely be possible against territorially extensive states. In the size of a state's territory, there always lies a certain protection against frivolous attacks. Since success can be achieved only after hard struggles, and therefore the risk of a rash assault will seem too great unless there are quite exceptional grounds for it. Hence the very size of a state offers in itself a basis for more easily preserving the freedom and independence of a people.
So once again, if they can get, now when we first was reading the article, it says that Detroit was so big that it could basically absorb San Francisco and somebody in another state into it, and that it's too spread out and it's too costly to keep the city going. So we need everybody to be close. We need everybody to be close in. But as you can see, what Hitler was doing, telling you that the blueprint of it, if we can get all these people close in, we can take them easy. It's easy to take them now. Let's go back to the scripture. 21.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt even unto the other end thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not.
Only who?
Only the land of the priests bought he not.
So only the land of the priests that he didn't take over their stuff. Now why is this? Why wouldn't he take over the priest lands either? It's the same thing that we got happening today. The pastors don't pay no taxes. They sign some sort of executive thing that they don't have to pay taxes on their stuff. So we know that your pastors is going to be handing you over to these people. When this thing pop off, they're going to go right to, let's go to Romans 13. Go to Romans 13. And you're going to find that it's hard to find the KJV Bible right now because they put all this NIV and New World Translation and all this garbage out here. So when you read it out their version of the Bible, it's ridiculous. Romans 13. Go ahead.
Sorry, verse 1.
Yep.
Romans 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Let every soul be subject to the higher powers. Now, they're going to make this sound as if it's talking about the government. Go ahead.
For there is no power but the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
So if you look in the heading, it's probably saying something about the government right there, especially in the other translations of the Bible.
In the NIV and the New King James Version, it don't say higher powers. It specifically says government.
So that's why they're trying to get the KJVs off the street,
right,
saying that it's too hard to understand. All the thou and the hath and all that stuff is too hard to understand. But what they're really doing is they're going to let these scriptures mislead the people. And if you don't know any better, this will trick you. This next verse, this will really, really get you. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resisteth shall receive to themselves damnation.
So if you resist this power, they're going to say that these powers are ordained. Obama is in the White House due to the Most High. All these people in their positions due to the Most High. So if you resist him, you're going to receive damnation. Now, if you don't know no better, this gonna throw you off. Man, I can't receive the damnation if I resist, because you're going to see it in the Bible. But they're going to be twisting the words of the Most High. And to show you that they twisting the words of the Most High, because he's talking about his prophets and his priests and his people that he put over his church, over his congregation. And we're going to show you that this verse don't mean that. I'll get it right quick. We're going to go to Revelation 13. Revelation 13 and 2. We'll read that.
Revelations 13, verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power.
Who gave him the power?
And the dragon gave him his power.
You see that? The dragon gave this people the power. So this ain't got nothing to do with Romans 13, which the way they're going to twist it on the people, and they know they're not going to have to give up their property and all that, not at first, because they're the ones that's misleading the people to the slaughter. Let's go back to Romans 13. Read 3.
Romans 13, verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then be not afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praises, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Now
it says the minister. That's minister, not the government. This is somebody that's in authority over the people, that's doing righteously, that's judging righteously. This ain't got nothing to do with the government. But I'm telling you, they had this on the news, that they was going to that the pastors was going to read this passage. When everything pop off, they was going to go straight to Romans 13 and read this to the people. And when they get to verse 2 of this, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So if you don't understand this, you will submit to this thing and receive true damnation, because you probably will bow to the beast.
Like you said, in those other translations, instead of saying power, it says government. It reads, let every soul be subject unto the government. And there is no government but of the Most High. The government that be are ordained of the Most High. That's exactly how it reads in the New King James Version.
So now you understand why they're trying to pull back all of the original KJVs off the shelf and put that new garbage out here. So you will fall for this. Let's go back to Genesis. Yeah, Genesis 47 and 22.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 22. Only the land of the priest bought he not, for the priest had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did not eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their land. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have brought you this day.
I did what?
I have brought you this day.
He bought the people. They sold themselves for slaves because they were so hungry. Go ahead.
And your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own.
So you're going to give him more of your stuff than you keep. He's going to take 5 parts and you're going to get 4. That don't seem right. Go ahead.
For a seed of the field